Doctors listen to reps, but do they tell the truth? Now, the doctors are very busy people. They have the patient's best interests at heart, and they rely on the drug reps to give them the right information. But that is not always correct. These are some of the false claims. Now, this is just in the last few years. Imagine being fined $345 million for false claims. There's not just a few of them, there's a lot of them. Botox, one of the biggest ones, $600 million. But that's not all. Have a look at this one. All these different claims have been exaggerated. Right at the bottom here, GlaxoSmith, once again, $3 billion fine. Now, the two I've marked at the bottom here, Advair and Flovent, I used those for 12 years. I had asthma. 12 years of asthma, and I was on those products twice a day. It took me 3 weeks on cannabis, and now I can breathe 100%. Now, that is heaven. Here are a few of the problems. Sleeping pills shorten your lifespan. Benzos get you addicted in 6 weeks. Ritalin and Concerta, it's just like cocaine. Antipsychotic drugs, they cause a shrinkage of the brain if you're on it for life, and mood stabilizers. On it for a long time, they cause severe mental problems. Now, the problem is these pharmaceutical companies spend millions developing a new product. And when they test it, if there's one or two side effects which are not too good, then the FDA will probably pass it. They just look at the majority. Let me give you an idea of that majority. Here's a common one, Tylenol, but it's deadly when taken with alcohol. Valium, we all know that one. Again, deadly with alcohol. Anticoagulants, warfarin, we all know. Deadly when combined with aspirin. Antidepressants, Prozac, risks of suicide. High blood pressure, deadly with diuretics. Now, these are all on the little bits of paper you find inside the boxes, the instructions, but nobody really bothers to read them. Antibiotics, deadly when mixed with statins. Clozapine, Clozaril, we all know that one, deadly when combined with alcohol. Gout, toxicity leading to death. That's a bad side effect. Methotrexate, horrible. Used a lot with cancer patients. Risk, death. This one, aspirin. That shouldn't be too bad, but it's deadly when it's combined with other blood thinners. Did you know that? Viagra. Got to laugh at this one. A dramatic blood pressure drop. Statins. Deadly when combined with fluconazole. Now, synthetic opioids, these are the worst. Fentanyl, we've all heard of, and methadone. Deadly when taken in excess. And you get hooked on these things. You take more and more. Combine it with cocaine or other drugs, and it's a one-way ticket. Prozac, increased risk of suicide. Opioids, Oxycontin, one of the worst drugs in the world. Deadly when combined with cocaine, but you get so addicted to it. Addicted like you cannot believe. You want to see some side effects? What about this page here? This is all for one product. But that's not the end of it. Here's page 2. Now, this company has been selling for years. It's killed hundreds of thousands over 2 decades. They've got $10 to $12 billion in lawsuits. What they're going to do is sell the company just to pay off the lawsuits, and what's left over will still be worth around $8 billion. There's been a tenfold rise to 30,000 deaths in 2018. That's twice as much as heroin. And Oxy is one of the 24 companies that sell opioids. How about this? Fritz Tamir was a German chemist. He was involved in the planning of Auschwitz. At the Nuremberg trials, he was sent to jail for 12 years. When he came out, they made him chairman of Bayer Pharmaceuticals. That's a good recommendation. And when you've got some time, Google Dr. Tent. Brilliant guy. You'll watch videos where he can show you how polio jabs were worthless. There was 220 million given, but they contained 37 different strains of cancer. Cancer used to be 1 in 20 people got cancer. Now it's 1 in 3. But what's even worse, look at the bottom. These were the guys involved with the polio jabs. Jack Ruby, Saran Saran, Lee Harvey Oswald. You all understand they were involved in the assassination of Jack Kennedy, who was in charge of this program. Scary, eh? So that's why the world is changing back to naturally healthy products.